first on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning to you, and thank you for looking in today. Welcome into Fox 10 Midday. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell. It's Thursday, March 5th.
Meteorologist Nicholas Herboso. We're starting off with a forecast that had some fog this morning, but is still in the same pattern of warm.
Okay, and it's sunny right now.
Yeah, sunny. There are a few locations near the coast that have unluckily kept some clouds around. That's typically what happens this time of year. Let's take a look at some of those live camera views from our Eastern Shore Toyota Camera Network. This is at the Admiral Hotel. And traffic flowing smoothly on Interstate 10. That's always good to talk about. Next few hours, we'll see temperatures going up to around 80 degrees, 78 degrees at 2 p.m. and mostly sunny conditions here in Mobile. Again, some folks are still dealing with cloud cover in certain areas. Otherwise, we're seeing clearing later on today. This afternoon, only around a 10% chance of a rain shower, but it is going to be a nice and warm spring-like day on the Gulf Coast. Rain chances over the next 7 days. When do we have something interesting happening? We've had the fog in the mornings, and that's going to continue all the way through the weekend. We have this chance of an isolated shower or two. A couple of highlight days for you: Friday, Sunday, and Thursday, which is just off the board here. Those will be kind of your highlight days with higher rain chances based on the modeling that we're seeing now. But of course, we'll keep you updated. The Saturday rain chances looking just a bit lower. So I want to walk through what's happening across the region. We have a high pressure system that is over the eastern United States. And one thing you'll notice is all the storm systems happen out to our west over the Central Plains. An enhanced risk today for portions of the country, enhanced risk tomorrow for portions of the central part of the country. On Saturday, the risk gets close to us and does clip our area, but our rain coverage on Saturday seems to be extremely low, so maybe 1 or 2 showers happen on Saturday. Here's the futurecast. Fog overnight tonight. That's all that white that you see. Then on Friday, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers possible. Saturday, we will see a slightly drier day. Sunday, we have a slightly higher chance of rain. We're talking about all the details in your forecast coming up.
All right, Nick, thank you. And breaking right now, Mobile police making 2 more arrests in the Valdez Drive homicide. MPD arresting 21-year-old T. Marvin Jones and another juvenile suspect yesterday. Jones now faces 2 charges, including felony murder and probation revocation. It all happened Monday morning at the intersection of Valdez and Skipper Drive, located near Ziegler Boulevard in West Mobile. When officers arrived on scene, they found 25-year-old Latirius Bailey dead in the road. MPD says he was shot while walking. 3 people have now been arrested in this homicide. The first juvenile arrested in the case was in court this morning for an arraignment hearing. He pleaded not guilty but will remain behind bars due to his previous criminal record. We spoke to his attorney after the hearing about his prior run-ins with law enforcement.
It's a youth center record. You know, anytime people have prior encounters with law enforcement, it's not good, but it's something that we deal with. The youth center has different admissibility rules as to what those cases are. It's hard for us to even get information without going out there and being present and looking through the record. So it's early on. These cases take sometimes 1.5 years or 2 years to get through.
And his preliminary hearing is set for April 1st. In the meantime, a man charged with aggravated child abuse pleaded not guilty this morning in court. 33-year-old Kendall Freeman turned himself in earlier this week and is charged with 1 count of aggravated child abuse. Police say the case began when officers responded to a call about a juvenile in need of medical help. Because of the victim's age and very sensitive nature of this case, investigators are not releasing specific details at this time. As for Freeman, he remains in jail on a $75,000 bond. His preliminary hearing is set for March 25th. We'll keep you updated there. And also today, a Mobile man accused of shooting 5 people on the night of Joe Cain Day, pleading not guilty this morning. Prosecutors allege that Devon Jeffrey got into an argument at a nightclub on Dauphin Street at about 11 p.m. and that the altercation spilled out onto the street. Right now, he's charged with 5 counts of first-degree assault. Now, a judge setting a preliminary hearing for March 24th. She did agree to reduce Jeffrey's bond somewhat, reducing the portion of his bond that he must post in cash to 10%. And meanwhile, the Walton County Sheriff's Office arresting this employee, Kelly Jo Johnson. Investigators say she worked in the kitchen at the Walton County Jail and she engaged in a sexual conduct with an inmate. Authorities say the inmate was assigned to kitchen duties at the time. She is charged with felony sexual misconduct between detention facility employees and inmates. Well, continuing coverage this morning, parents and community members are demanding answers after a video surfaced showing what appears to be a student being bullied at Lott Middle School. The video appears to show one student repeatedly taunting and hitting another boy inside a locker room. School board member Johnny Hatcher says he received the video and posted it to Facebook to draw attention to what he calls a serious problem, then removed it after the alleged aggressor's mother reached out.
She never one time tried to make an excuse for any of his actions. She was appalled herself, and she has taken the appropriate actions as a parent to correct it.
Hatcher tells us several community members have reached out as well in support of the victim, including one man who offered the boy a summer internship. Fox 10 News has reached out to the Mobile County Public School System to see if any of the students involved will face disciplinary action. We will keep you updated here as well. Well, some sad news to report this morning. The body of missing fishermen has been found after more than a day of searching right off Dauphin Island. Alabama law enforcement agency saying crews found the body of 54-year-old Travis White about 20 miles west of Dauphin Island near Petit Bois Island, Mississippi. Now, this comes the day after the U.S. Coast Guard found White's boat north of the Dauphin Island Bridge in a marshy area of Heron Bay after pinging his cell phone. Right now, the cause of White's death remains under investigation. And today, the U.S. and Israel are stepping up attacks on Iranian targets, but the regime is still fighting back. This all comes as the State Department works with Americans stuck in the region to get out of harm's way. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor picks up the story from here.
Here on Capitol Hill, efforts by Democrats to end the war failed in the Senate yesterday, and we expect the same result today in the House. Nearly a week into the conflict, the U.S. is close to achieving complete dominance over Iran's airspace after hitting more than 2,000 targets. The Pentagon says Iranian missile launches are now down 86%. But Iran is still lashing out, launching a new wave of attacks on American and Israeli bases.
There's no evidence that they're giving up here. They've expanded into the Gulf states, and they've expanded into with Lebanon and Hezbollah.
Democrats want to limit the mission going forward, but Republicans are holding firm in their support for the war effort.
Passing the measure today would do nothing to keep America safe. It would do nothing to strengthen Congress, and all it would do is put America's safety and that of our allies at risk.
Republicans are on record today, and they're going to be held accountable. Elections have consequences.
Politics aside, Americans in harm's way overseas need to register with the State Department if they need help leaving. The first U.S. charter flight is currently en route. But before the federal government stepped in, some Americans, like this pastor from Florida, had to rely on nonprofits.
We had a sense about us that if we followed orders, did the right thing, trusted in our God, that we would be all right.
Since the strikes began, more than 17,000 Americans have returned to the U.S. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Meanwhile, a federal judge has ordered the administration to begin refunding billions of dollars in tariffs. More than 2,000 companies have filed lawsuits seeking refunds, according to reports, and many of them are big businesses like Costco and FedEx, looking to benefit from the tariff challenges initiated by small businesses. Now, the federal judge's order comes after the Supreme Court invalidated some of Trump's tariff powers last month. The order directs U.S. Customs and Border Protection to begin recalculating duties importers paid and determine exactly how much money needs to be returned. The group that represents the small businesses say they can go back to planning their businesses.
I have one business that I talked to who was on a waiting list for 2 years for a piece of machinery so that he could manufacture in the United States, but the machinery was coming from a highly tariffed country. So now perhaps he'll be able to buy that machine.
The refund process, though, still remains pretty unclear. The government says it will be a painstaking endeavor requiring manual review of millions of import entries. But others are pushing back, insisting this process could be automated. President Donald Trump's East Wing Ballroom project is up for a final approval vote today, and it should have no problems passing. Its executive director is formally recommending approval of the project. That's despite the panel's receipt of some 32,000 public comments. Almost all oppose the project, citing concerns like its scope, cost, and historical impact. A much smaller number of supporting statements mention the need for a larger, more modern space. Stopping the project after commission approval would require court action, though. A federal judge already has rejected an attempt to block it. Still ahead right here on Fox 10 Midday, Mobile is updating its traffic cameras. We've got the details there. Plus, a boat gets loose on a California freeway. We've got this video after the break. But first, Nick, how is our Thursday shaping up?
It's shaping up nice with some warm temperatures in the afternoon. Our catnap forecast for today shows temperatures in the 70s. This is the Majestic Boxer, submitted by Tony. Thank you so much for sending in your cat photos. If you want your cat featured on the catnap forecast, send in your cat photos right now to the Fox 10 weather app. (11:14). It's a look at Pensacola Beach. We still have some cloud cover down there. This is one of the locations that we've been dealing with. Some of our coastal locations, especially over the next few mornings, will deal with some consistent cloud cover as we start the morning with low clouds and fog, and then that's kind of dissipates slowly as we go through the day. Eventually, you'll see some peaks of sunshine this afternoon. Our main weather headlines on our Thursday. Very, very, very warm. We're talking about temperatures in the middle 80s in some of our inland locations. There is some potential through the weekend of scattered showers. Some days have higher chances than others. We'll break that down for you. And a higher rain chance, substantially higher, comes mid-late next week. Talking about Wednesday into Thursday, most likely on Thursday morning. Could we see some thunderstorms with that one? We're breaking it all down for you. Your forecast highs this afternoon on Thursday. Again, middle 80s inland, 86 in Calvert, 84 in Atmore and Bruton. Temperatures close to the coast here in the 70s, 76 degrees in Gulf Shores, Pensacola, 75 Navarre and Destin. You have a little more cloud cover in some locations down here. But also, you're dealing with the cooler water temperatures, which is holding everything down. Over the next 10 hours in Mobile, as we look into the evening time, temperatures in the 70s, 72 degrees at 6 p.m. Great for a walk outside, then getting to the 60s there, a few clouds around. In Pensacola, if you have to be out this evening going on a run or something, Pensacola, it should be fantastic. A few clouds, a southeasterly wind, great weather to be outside, no weather issues. Your future cast shows fog developing overnight tonight. You can see this pretty clearly. All of that white across our Fox 10 viewing area, every single county dealing with some kind of fog in spots, or at least low cloud cover. That continues into Friday morning. Then Friday through the morning and into the afternoon. You see that? Those are scattered showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder out there. Can't rule that out. We're going to have enough moisture in place that we could see those scattered showers popping up. They will be random in placement. Some of them might bring a heavier downpour for a brief amount of time, maybe a rumble of thunder. We are not expecting any severe weather on Friday. Then we push this out and everything dissipates with the loss of daytime heating and we're done. And fog happens again Friday night into Saturday morning. As we get into Saturday afternoon, again, we will see some more scattered showers. Here's that fog future cast. Widespread, patchy to dense fog. So be ready for it if you have to be out on Friday morning. Friday afternoon, your highs again very warm. Temperatures near 80 degrees, 79 Mobile, 76 in Gulf Shores. If you're down at the beach, moderate to high risk of rip currents, water temperatures that are in the middle 60s. So still cool water temperatures for our coastal beaches there. Warm days continue with our ridge of high pressure in control. That also keeps our rain chances very scattered. And the latest update on the drought monitor does still show that dry conditions are continuing locally. You see our days of peak rain chances. Friday, we could have those scattered showers. I think Sunday, we have more scattered showers. And then Wednesday into Thursday is our next big focus point here. Look at the long range forecast. That is where we have our chance of showers and thunderstorms. So after that, it looks like temperatures fall back into the 70s. But this is a long range forecast of warm temperatures and spring-like weather with a lot of morning fog.
Thank you, Nick. Right now, an effort is underway in Stockton to gather enough signatures to get a zoning referendum on the November ballot. Some residents hope it could keep a solar farm out of the community. John Murphy was one of several Stockton residents who spoke at this week's Baldwin County Commission meeting. He's a part of a group looking to create a new zoning district to protect the Stockton Landmark District and surrounding area from unchecked development. This move comes after the county made it clear early on that it had no capability to restrict land use in unzoned areas.
We don't want to tell somebody what they can do on their property, but when it affects everybody else's property and it affects our town and our way of life, we definitely are very concerned.
And officials say if everything goes through with the zoning petition, voters there could see it on the ballot this November. There are still no guarantees a zoning change would impact this development. Well, the city of Mobile is investing more than $744,000 in new traffic cameras, and city leaders say the technology could make your commute a little faster. It's all part of a multi-million-dollar effort to upgrade traffic monitoring systems. Mobile Traffic Engineering Director Jennifer White says the new systems offer a real-time look at traffic conditions. In the past, Airport Boulevard traffic lights were on the same cycle, meaning the lights stayed red for the same amount of time, regardless of how much traffic there was. Now there are 13 different cycles that change with the time of day. Officials say changes made last year to the western portions of the road resulted in a greater than 15% decrease in travel times.
The technology, and now especially with AI, has gotten a lot better, and this new system that we're using is just a much better system than the older cameras that were kind of stationary and only just detected traffic. These now with the AI will also collect data for us, so it's just a much better system.
The city already has 18 of the new systems and will install the additional 29 in West Mobile, bringing that total to 47. By state law, the city can't use cameras to issue tickets for running red lights. Well, a traffic camera captures an overturned car skidding into oncoming traffic. Take a look here. It all happened on Interstate 5 in Washington State Tuesday morning during a chase that, according to Washington State Patrol, reached more than 100 miles an hour. The car being chased was speeding northbound, and it hit the back of another vehicle, then the barrier in the median, and flipped over into the southbound lanes. We're told the driver was a 20-year-old man. There were 3 other people in the car, including a 14-month-old. None were wearing seatbelts. The driver and an adult passenger were injured, but thankfully no one was killed. Investigators believe drugs or alcohol were involved in this incident. And a crash on a freeway in Southern California involves a boat. This one happened at around 5:30 Sunday afternoon on the 91 freeway in Bellflower. This dashboard camera video shows what appears to be normal traffic. At some point, a boat on a trailer speeds across the eastbound lanes, then crashes into and goes over the median. It did not appear to hit any cars and no injuries reported here. But there's no word on which vehicle the boat was actually attached to. California Highway Patrol is still investigating some really wild moments there. College football lost one of its all-time greats, Lou Holtz. We remember the life and legacy of one of college football's greatest coaches when we come back right here on Fox 10 Midday. Welcome back. Some sad news to report in the sports world this morning. Legendary college football coach Lou Holtz has passed away at the age of 89. He led Notre Dame to its last national championship in 1988 and won almost 250 games in 33 seasons as a head coach. Greg Wolf takes a look back at his life and legacy now.
There's only one way you get respect, and that's by looking somebody in the eye for 60 minutes. Go out there, hitch up your trousers and say, hey, baby, here I am now. Let me see you run through me now. Let me see you show some disrespect for me with a nose on your nose. Let me see what you think of me now that my face is to you.
Known for his inspirational speeches and talent for motivating his players, Lou Holtz is the only coach in college football history to lead 6 different schools to a bowl game. Louis Leo Holtz was born in West Virginia in 1937. Holtz landed his first head coaching job at the College of William and Mary in 1969, and he would later go on to coach NC State, Arkansas, and Minnesota to 10 bowl games in 13 years. In 1986, Holtz took over one of college football's most storied but struggling programs, Notre Dame, and returned them to national prominence. In 11 seasons in South Bend, Holtz, the strict disciplinarian and taskmaster, led the Irish to 9 straight bowl games and a school record 23-game win streak, including the 1988 national championship. Holtz would win 100 games with the Fighting Irish before retiring in 1996, second only to the legendary Knute Rockne. After only 3 seasons, Holtz ended his retirement, returning to coach the University of South Carolina.
Where do you go from Notre Dame except, according to my mother, directly to heaven? You sit by the Pope. You just don't do anything. As I said before, I'm a teacher, and I just feel that that's a role that I should play.
In his first year in Columbia, he didn't win a single game. But the next season, Holtz posted one of the largest single-season turnarounds in NCAA history, going 8-4, including an Outback Bowl victory over favored Ohio State. Holtz left coaching for good in 2004. In 2008, Holtz was elected to the College Football Hall of Fame and honored with a statue outside of Notre Dame Stadium.
And you're going to have setbacks, you're going to have disappointment. But you got 2 choices when you're down: stay down or pick yourself up. But the wonderful opportunity, I hope they'll look and say, you know, if that dumb sucker can do it, so can I.
What an amazing story and legacy to leave there. Well, straight ahead on the show, breakfast is called by many as the most important meal of the day, but what if you skip it? We take a closer look in this morning's Health Minute. Plus, more Americans dip into their savings. We have that story and much more approaching in your business headlines also.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back. Turning now to your half-hour headlines on this Thursday. Grammy-winning pop star Britney Spears has been arrested for driving under the influence. The 44-year-old was arrested last night in Ventura, California. According to Ventura County Sheriff inmate records, Spears was placed in handcuffs and taken into custody, where she was later released. The singer, though, has run into legal troubles before. Back in 2007, Spears faced 4 misdemeanor charges and a jail sentence for an alleged hit and run with a parked car in Los Angeles. And shortly after, Spears lost custody of her 2 boys with Kevin Federline, following reported concerns of public incidents and her alleged abuse of substances and alcohol. And then Elon Musk took the stand in San Francisco, defending himself against accusations that he tried to manipulate Twitter's value while his deal to buy the platform was still in the works. The class action lawsuit claims Musk knew his comments could affect Twitter's stock price, and by making threats to get out of the deal, Twitter stock would fall. Musk testified his concerns at the time were about bots or non-human users on the platform. Since Twitter relies heavily on advertising, the number of real users is critical to setting its value. Musk is due back in court today to continue his testimony. And finally, the Alabama Historical Commission is launching the Clotilda Memorial Project. It's happening at the Robert Hope Community Center at 3 o'clock, and they're inviting you, the community, to help shape it. This all goes back to May 2019, where after decades of searching, experts confirmed the discovery of the Clotilda, the last known slave ship to enter the United States, which illegally brought over 100 slaves to Mobile in 1860, more than 50 years after the slave trade was banned. Survivors eventually founded what is now known as Africatown. And today's project aims to honor their story with an artist-built memorial guided by scientific research and preservation that has now been underway for more than 2 decades now. In our business news today, a judge orders the government to pay back certain tariffs. More Americans are dipping into their savings. Target plans a full revamp. Fox's CJ Papa has those stories in today's Fox Business Briefs.
The Trump administration ordered to pay more than $130 billion in tariff refunds. Judge Richard Eaton of the U.S. Court of International Trade ruled Wednesday that companies who paid tariffs struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court last month deserve that money back. In February, the nation's highest court found President Trump exceeded his power when he imposed some of last year's global tariffs, saying the president could not set and change tariffs without congressional approval. Americans are dipping into their retirement savings early. The Wall Street Journal reports 6% of workers withdrew from their 401k retirement plans last year, citing financial hardship. That's up from 4.8% of workers in 2024 and a pre-pandemic level of just 2%. Vanguard, who manages these accounts, says this marks a 6th straight year of increases since Congress made it easier to tap into retirement accounts for financial reasons in 2018. Target spending big in an effort to attract customers. The retail giant's new CEO says shoppers can expect to soon see cleaner shelves, shorter checkout lines, and revamped home and apparel sections. All part of a $5 billion overhaul aimed at revving sales. The company predicts they'll see a 2% increase in sales this year. And Starbucks is expanding its corporate footprint. The Seattle-based coffee company is opening an office in Nashville as part of a broader plan to expand across North America. The company plans to offer relocation opportunities to Seattle-based employees while also opening up additional roles in Tennessee over time. CJ Papa, Fox News.
At 11:34, the Fairhope Pier, a beautiful place to be here on this Thursday. Few folks out there enjoying it right now. You see the flag is pretty calm right now. The winds are not super gusty here at the Fairhope Pier. The bay looks nice and generally calm. Nice to see that view and a good day to get outside, a good evening to be outside as well. If you have any good sunset photos that happen later today, we want you to send them in on the Fox 10 weather app. They would be greatly appreciated. I know we're going to see a good sunset tonight because we're going to have a few clouds around, so it should be perfect. Just send those photos in. Again, on the Fox 10 weather app. Download the app if you haven't. It is free in the App Store or Google Play Store. Your Graph Futurecast model over the next 48 hours. Warm temperatures this afternoon, mainly in the 80s north of Interstate 10, 70s south of Interstate 10. Then overnight, you'll see more clouds building in. This is really fog that you're seeing on the Futurecast model. Anytime you see these little specks of green, that is the model struggling to resolve some of the fog that it's actually picking up because the moisture content is so high, so it tries to print rain. But that's just an artifact of the model. It is fog that we are expecting. Then Friday afternoon, then we could see some legitimate showers and maybe some rumbles of thunder. Both models, the HRRR and the Graph model, have hinted at this location right here. So Greene County, Washington County, tomorrow afternoon for the possibility of those rain showers. So have the rain gear just in case, mainly if you're north of Interstate 10. If you're down at the beach on Friday, I don't see any major issues other than the fog. Then on Saturday, more fog in the morning. Then into the afternoon, you'll see temperatures that soar well up into the 70s, near 80 degrees once again. Here's 9 a.m. on Saturday. You can see mostly cloudy conditions there. Maybe a rumble of thunder in the afternoon. The big picture shows a trough over the western United States and a ridge over the eastern United States. That means we are warm. Cooler temperatures out west, and in the middle, lots of storm systems that we're tracking. We have an active track of weather across the central United States, places in Oklahoma and Texas dealing with thunderstorms today. Here's the ridge of high pressure again in orange. That leads to warmer temperatures. And then here's all of your other systems, the troughs and low pressure systems out west. That is leading to more active weather for them and some slightly lower temperatures. Warm days ahead for us. The ridge is in control. So that means temperatures stay around 80 degrees through the next 7 days. And over the next 7 days for rainfall, we have these scattered rain showers, right? So we're going to have some rainfall, but we are not expecting a huge soaking like our neighbors off to the west see. Look at northern Louisiana, portions of Texas, Arkansas here. That is 4, 5, all the way up to 7 inches of rain possibly. Quite a lot there. It's because they are constantly getting these storm systems, these waves of storms. Enhanced risk for portions of Texas and Oklahoma today. This is the latest update. Slight risk and enhanced risk from the Storm Prediction Center for your day 2 outlook. That enhanced risk does include places like Tulsa and also Kansas City. Then for us, it gets close to us on Saturday, but we are not expecting any major issues. Again, for us, our rain chances 20%, 30%, 40%. That's about the range that we sit at over the next 7 days.
Like Nick just told us, things are warming up out there, and if you're firing up the grill this spring, you may want to check your grill brush. Weber now recalling more than 3 million metal wire bristle grill brushes because the bristles can break off. Those bristles can, of course, stick to the grill or food, and if swallowed, can cause serious internal injuries that could require surgery. The company says it's aware of at least 38 reports of bristles detaching. That includes 4 cases where people swallowed the metal pieces and actually needed medical treatment. The brushes with plastic or wood handles were sold at stores including Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, and Target. They were also sold online at Amazon and Weber.com. If you have these, you should stop using the brushes immediately and contact Weber for a full replacement. Well, Halo Dream is recalling about 45,000 Magic sleep suits due to an infant choking hazard. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the zipper heads can detach. Halo, Amazon, Walmart, and Target sold them online between September and last month. They have dual zippers and the product name on the chest. Regulators say no injuries have been reported yet. Specific batch codes for the recalled products can be found on the CPSC website. Well, a new survey suggests nearly half of American children are not getting the sleep they need. In fact, a National Sleep Foundation poll surveyed nearly 1,000 caregivers of children 13 and under. It found that 44% of kids do not consistently get the recommended amount of sleep for their age. Experts say sleep in early childhood plays a key role in both physical and mental health and helps shape sleep habits for later in life. They also say many parents underestimate how much rest children actually need. The National Sleep Foundation recommends anywhere from 9 to 17 hours, depending on a child's age. Doctors say some simple steps can help, including consistent bedtimes, calm bedtime routines, and limiting electronics before they fall asleep. The poll also found poor sleep doesn't just affect kids. Nearly 80% of caregivers said their own sleep suffers when their child doesn't sleep well themselves. It's been called the most important meal of the day, but breakfast is often skipped due to busy lives, lack of hunger in the morning, or as a weight loss strategy. But is the first meal of the day actually essential for our health? In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither gets an expert to weigh in on whether breakfast does a body good or if it's okay to break up with that morning meal.
For their first meal of the day, do you go for eggs, French toast, cereal? How about fruit? Or is your morning breakfast bowl left empty?
It comes down to personal preference and what works best for your body.
Registered dietitian Julia Zumpano with Cleveland Clinic says there can be breakfast benefits. For some, that can include cognitive function enhancement, diabetes risk reduction, better blood sugar management, and appetite control, leading to the consumption of fewer calories. But those who skip breakfast may find they too have a clearer mind, more alertness, and better digestion. So she says the best thing to do is listen to your body.
Those people who chronically skip breakfast or just don't feel hungry in the morning have likely been that way their whole lives. Those who wake up hungry and ready to eat, again, physiologically, that's what their body is telling them.
No matter which group to which you belong, Zumpano says your first food of the day should be made up mostly of protein and fiber. She says meals with high fat or high sugar can lead to a pretty significant crash 30 to 90 minutes after that meal. Some healthy first meal ideas include Greek yogurt with berries, nuts, and ground flaxseed or chia seeds, cottage cheese with tomato and a slice of whole grain toast, avocado toast with an egg, or overnight oats.
Protein and fiber is key. And really, that should be the foundation of all your meals and snacks.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
It's 11:42 now. Thank you for staying with us here on Fox 10 Midday. Coming up, a popular fast food restaurant is looking for a new chief tasting officer. Plus, the Queen of Clean shows us how versatile sugar really is. Those stories and much more in our Midday Talkers right after this. We're talking about something most people have in the kitchen, sugar. I have lots of it.
Here's the Queen of Clean to show us how sugar can be handy, not just for your food or your coffee, but other household uses.
Did you know that sugar is good for a lot of things that do not involve food? I'm going to show you some great tips today to use something you have in your pantry at home. Now make sure you use sugar. This is not the time to use low-cal sweetener. First of all, if you get a beautiful bouquet of flowers, how do you keep them fresh? Really simple. You're going to take 1 tablespoon of white vinegar and you're going to take 1 tablespoon of sugar. You're going to mix that together in your vase and change it out every few days. Keeps the flowers fresh and it keeps them from getting all rotten on the stems. You'll love the way it works. Now, if you've been painting, which happened to me not long ago, and you get paint on your hands, what you can use to take it off is sugar. First, you're going to use some soap and water, wash your hands. Then take some sugar, sprinkle it on your hands, and start rubbing your hands like that. The grittiness of the sugar will remove that paint, but will not make your skin dry or peeling. It's a great way to get paint off and great for the kids too. Now, if you've got kids in sports, you know what it's like to work with grass stains, but did you know sugar can take out grass stains? You're gonna make a little paste of sugar and a little bit of water. You're gonna put that on those grass stains. Now walk away, let that soak, and soak it at least 30 minutes, but if you soak it longer, it doesn't matter. Make it convenient for you. Once it soaks, go ahead, throw that in the laundry. You've got it cleaned up and there won't be any more grass stains. Now, I want to show you a really surprising thing you can do if you're having a picnic and you don't want flies around. And this is kind of a strange one, so just stay with me. What you're going to do is take 2 cups of milk and put it into a pan. To that, you will add 3/4 cup of sugar. And to that, you will add 1/8 cup or 2 tablespoons of black pepper. You're going to bring that to a boil, let it simmer for a few minutes. Then let it cool and put it into some shallow bowls. Set those out around the yard, away from where you'll be sitting. The milk and the pepper will draw the flies in like crazy. But the stickiness of the sugar will get them stuck so they can't fly over to you. I know it sounds strange, but believe me, it works. So take a look in your pantry, pull out your sugar, and use it for some of these really easy tips. For more information, go to queenofclean.com. Thanks for talking dirty with the Queen of Clean.
Yeah, if you have some extra time on your hands, some options there. I did make sugar scrub one time, which was a lot of fun. Sugar scrub's nice. You can make your hands soft with it. It's pretty cool. Natural option.
I thought it was interesting. Put out some milk, attract some flies, trap them.
Yeah, okay. It's super timely for springtime here, for sure. International Women's Day is Sunday, and Barbie is marking it with a new collection.
Mattel says the Dream Team lineup honors female pioneers.
Yeah, the Americans in it include tennis legend Serena Williams and U.S. astronaut Kelly Gerardi.
Other dolls in the collection represent women from around the world.
That includes race car driver Regina Servant Alvarado from Mexico, soccer player Chloe Kelly from the UK, and pop artist Helen Fisher from Germany. I support all of this.
I think, didn't they do something very similar to this recently? Because I remember, who was it? I think they did. There was a couple, I think maybe Olympian or something that was in it along with another different soccer star, Canadian soccer star. I feel like I remember them doing something like that. So
Barbie
I think they've been on
has been rolling out a lot of new Barbies, being very inclusive as well, lots of representation there. Are you going to wish me happy International Women's Day?
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
To everybody.
Yes, to everyone. Girl power, for sure. Well, a popular fast food chain wants to pay you 6 figures just to eat.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It's Wendy's. They're on a nationwide search for a chief tasting officer.
You won't believe this. For $100,000 a year, you'll taste Wendy's menu, create content, share creative feedback, and help the company keep a pulse on what's trending in fast food.
The job description leans into humor, saying applicants just need a month, a pulse, and strong opinions about the brand's food.
Yeah, the remote role also requires very little travel.
Wendy's says you can expect to go to places like your local Wendy's and or the couch.
Wow. To apply, candidates must submit a video showing why they're the perfect personality hire. And of course, be sure to show off their tasting skills. Getting paid 6 figures just to eat food.
You know,
how about
have you seen the whole CEOs tasting their their company's burgers
No,
trend?
I haven't.
Look that up. That's entertaining.
Really?
Anyways, I think Wendy's is about to sling some
That's
things.
crazy. I need to catch up on that.
'Cause
Listen, we want to thank you
it's
for
funny.
staying with us here on Fox 10 Midday. We can talk all day long. It's 11:50 now. Let's take a live look outside.
This is our Dauphin Island camera at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab, sponsored by Eastern Shore Toyota. And a little bit of wind out there, a little bit of low cloud cover, almost a fogginess to see. We are tracking some morning fog over the next few days. We'll have the details on that in your full forecast coming up.
Up and away to the Smithsonian. Two of the most important comic books ever printed will be available for everyone to see. No x-ray vision needed, by the way. Patrick Cornell has that story in today's Take a Look at This.
The comic books that birthed two icons will soon be on display at the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. The museum announced the acquisition of Action Comics #1 from 1938, which introduced us to Superman, the character that started the superhero genre and spawned the golden age of comics. Nearly 90 years later, the character is still a monumental figure in popular culture. The other acquisition, Captain America Comics #1, dated 1941, which shows the superhero smashing Adolf Hitler in the face months before America ever entered World War II. In its announcement, the museum says both comics are historically significant and their characters and themes played a major role in American culture and cultural history. Action Comics #1 goes on display in late April, followed by Captain America Comics #1 in the fall. While we're on the topic of heroics, firefighters in northern Italy came to the rescue of a wolf caught in a canal. Reportedly, the female animal got stuck on the pylon of a footbridge, unable to get itself to safety. The team of rescuers made its way into the moving waters to sedate and secure the animal. Video shows them using a net and a catch pole to carefully steer the wolf to the bank. Once they moved it to dry land, they were able to transfer it to the care of a veterinarian. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Pretty cool stories there. What about those comic books, though? Are you a comic book fan?
No, I'm not really, but I did hear the kind of like almost John
You're
Williams.
laughing at the music.
I was
yeah.
like John Williams-esque music that was in the background. That was funny. All right, see, my music brain's just the only thing I can think about. All right, let's talk about the forecast here. Just want to show you what's going on outside right now. We have some breaks in the clouds in some locations. Some places are just a little bit cloudier than others. Tomorrow afternoon, talking about temperatures near 80 degrees, looking at the next 48 hours. So overnight tonight, we have fog that develops. And then tomorrow afternoon, we could also see some rain showers that try to develop. Here is the afternoon on the Futurecast. Look at our inland spots, especially our northwestern county, Greene County, Washington County there with some rain showers. We're not expecting any severe weather. Then on Saturday morning, we're expecting some more fog and low cloud cover with temperatures mainly in the 60s. Saturday afternoon, that rain chance is quite a bit lower. Here's a quick look at the severe weather outlook over the next couple of days. Notice off to our west, it gets pretty active. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that and keeping you updated. But for us locally, we just have slight chances of rain showers. Really not expecting any major issues for us. Maybe next week, middle end of next week, we could see a more substantial rain chance.
I'm holding a sneeze right now because of all that hay fever out there. So the pollen is there for this spring. Thank you for watching Fox 10 Midday. We will see you on Fox 10 Live.